Hi everybody, my name is Katie Ayers, and today I'm going to be talking with you a little bit about tectonic plates. Did you know that underneath our feet at this very moment, tectonic plates are very slowly moving and gradually changing the features of Earth's crust? Pretty crazy, huh? You've probably seen the impact of tectonic plate movement, whether you've experienced an earthquake or visited a mountain range. Tectonic plate boundaries have had an immense impact on our Earth. The outermost layer of the planet is known as the lithosphere, and this is where this is all happening. The lithosphere is divided up into 7 to 8 major tectonic plates and many minor ones. Where these plates meet are called plate boundaries. And there are 3 primary types of tectonic plate boundaries, which we're going to be learning about today. The first is divergent, the second is convergent, and the third is transform. So let's start today with divergent plate boundaries. Divergent plate boundaries occur when 2 plates pull away from each other. As they separate, new crust is created as molten magma rises and spreads outward. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a great example of this. It's located at the divergent boundary between the North American plate and the Eurasian plate. The second type of tectonic plate boundary I mentioned earlier is called a convergent boundary. At a convergent boundary, crust is destroyed and recycled back into the interior of the Earth as 2 plates move toward each other. However, it gets a little bit more complicated because the nature of a convergent boundary depends on the type of plates that are colliding. For example, when a dense oceanic plate collides with a less dense continental plate, the oceanic plate is thrust underneath in what we call a subduction zone. This typically creates a trench on the ocean side and a mountain range on the continental side. Alternatively, when 2 continental plates converge, they either compress and buckle or subduct. In either case, it creates an extensive mountain range. An example of this would be the Himalayas, which are at the convergent boundary between the Eurasian and the Indian plates. Finally, when 2 plates with oceanic crust converge, subduction occurs, typically creating an island arc, as well as a deep oceanic trench. An example of this would be the Marianas Trench and the Marianas Islands. So as you can see, convergent boundaries get a little bit more complicated as you think about the different kinds of plates that meet, whether the oceanic or continental. The third and final type of plate boundary we're going to learn about today is called the transform fault boundary. At a transform fault, tectonic plates slide past each other, and as they slide past each other, they grind because they're typically zigzag, they're not smooth edges. So as they grind, it creates seismic activity, which causes earthquakes in California, which is a great example. The San Andreas Fault in California is a good example of a transform fault boundary. So in review, we've learned 3 types of plate boundaries. The first was divergent, the second was convergent, and the third was transform. So as you walk around today, I want you to be thinking about how tectonic plates are moving beneath your very feet. Even if you can't see it, know that they're moving, and they're gradually over many years changing the way the Earth's crust is shaped. Thank you so much for listening in and learning a little bit more about tectonic plates. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thanks again.